What is up, guys? Welcome to Geeking Properly, the channel where I point out some elements that will enhance your gaming experience. So, today's topic, I'm going to be focusing on games that have been ported over, that are old, they should be really, really cheap, so they should be easy to get. And that, although they're famous, they are not as acknowledged as they should be. So, the first one is Okami. Originally, it was made for the PlayStation 2 in 2006, and then it came out for the Nintendo Wii, which is a really good version because of the way the Wii Remote works in that game. It now has an HD remastered version on Nintendo Switch, and it's like $11. I'm not kidding. It's super cheap, super accessible, and it's like a AAA game in my opinion. It's really, really good, and although it's famous, like some people know about it, I don't see many people that have actually played it all the way through, and at the same time, I don't know anybody who has beaten the entire game and don't love it. It's really, really good. So let's imagine for a second that the games we play are like the girls you have dated, right? So we all know the fives. Those games are where okay, nothing great. The toxic ones, the ones you know they're bad for you, but you just keep playing them or buying them. The fun zone, the games that you can just go back at any time or age and they'll still give you a good time. The quickie ones, these are short but better than nothing. It's not like we're waiting for a certain special one to finally come or anything. We have the catfishes, they never look like the pictures. And almost at the very end of the scale, we got the girlfriend material. Okami is the kind of girl that you will want to bring to your family barbecue, introduce to your parents. She's the kind of girl that might even sometimes reach for the check and everything. Trust me, letting this gem go away is one of the worst mistakes you'll ever make. There's no doubt Okami is a masterpiece and she has aged very well. So at the beginning, she's gonna play hard to get. There is a lot of dialogue and a lot of introductory stuff that they don't look as important. So it might not be as easy to get into it at the beginning. But if you just hold on tight right there for a couple of hours playing this game, you'll realize how beautiful it is. Okami is a reminder of how an original IP can become a classic. It won Game of the Year on the same year Zelda Twilight Princess came out. It is a game that has earned praise from everyone who has played it. The only problem being that not many people have. In my opinion, Okami has been fighting a constant battle since its original release on the PS2. At that time, it was overshadowed by the release of the PS3 and the Wii, and we all know how crazy that was.
Alright, everybody, this is what it's going to take down, okay? I need the first 34 divisions to sign up behind that yellow rusher. Get off of me!
And then, most people just refuse to play an old game. A game that's a couple of years old. Despite this, Okami has been ported over and remastered for 14 years now. A big problem a lot of people seem to have with the game is the art and animation. I have a friend. The thing is that I actually respect this friend a lot because he's really, really good at Smash. So he's actually top 2 in my region. So I know he's no casual, right? I remember I recommended him this game. I know for a fact he likes these type of games, so I recommended it to him, right? And I remember he told me something like, "Oh, I'm just not a fan of the graphics, you know. The art style, it looks like a PS2 game. Maybe when it comes out in a port for PC, I'll play it. I'll just wait for it. It's already been remastered in HD and it's already been ported over for in like 3 different consoles. If it comes out in PC, it's not gonna make a huge difference. This game is animated like that on purpose. It all has like a reason, and once you start a couple of levels, you'll get used to it. The gameplay is similar to a Zelda. I personally think it's better than every Zelda except for Breath of the Wild, but I guarantee the story is better than any other Zelda on like a lot of games for that matter. The game has a lot of collectibles, interesting side missions with actual reward, so it's not just filler, you know? So if you're a completionist like me, it's a no-brainer. I'm just gonna say, if you like Zelda, play this. If you're not doing anything and are looking for something good, really good, cheap to play, go ahead and play this. You're not gonna regret it. It's so good. And maybe after you're done, you will want Amaterasu to be in Smash Brothers as the new DLC as much as I want to. Speaking of Smash Brothers. Right, so this shouldn't take us long. You all know who this guy is, you all know what game he's from. I'm talking to you, Nintendo owners. If you were anything like me growing up, then there's no way you could have been loyal to two consoles at the same time, because your parents were not gonna raise some spoiled brat who would also get bullied for not playing soccer with the other kids. Yep, that's me on Kinder. The short guy whose instincts are just telling him that he has to post shooting a Kamehameha for the school picture. But thankfully, he's doing it on the low, so it wouldn't be as pathetic, unlike this loser. In the long run, my parents mitigated this instance of mine by just allowing one console per generation in my room, with the hope that eventually I would run out of games and I'd have to go outside and play. Turns out it worked. I ended up finding entertainment in other things. But as soon as I was able to get a job, I took the liberty of running wild for some time and play all the titles I missed on PlayStation. And among those titles was, you guessed it, which brings me to the point of this video. If you're an adult and have an old PS3 or know of a friend who does, do yourself a favor and play Metal Gear Solid. Also, something that it's worth pointing out, I've realized that a lot of people don't know this, but the version of Metal Gear Solid 3 that comes in these modern ports, it's actually an extended edition with a lot of really cool features, including the original two Metal Gear games, the ones that started everything. And although I admit the first one might be a little rough around the edges, the second one reinvented the Metal Gear formula and will serve as the pioneer for the critically acclaimed future titles. In other words, I don't think the box doesn't really say anything, but you're not just getting these 3 games, you're actually getting 5 really good games for like $25. These games are perfect choices for quarantine and social distancing, and they will definitely give you something to think about. Not to mention, they have both become symbols of their own studios. Okami is for Capcom not less than what NES is for Nintendo, and when it comes to Snake and Link, well, you tell me. Turns out these two are actually close friends and have nothing but respect for each other. To put it in anime terms, if Miyamoto was Goku, the only person that could even be considered to be Vegeta is Hideo Kojima. Now, I'm not saying the one is better than the other one, but Zelda has been played by considerably more people than Metal Gear Solid, and they were both made by the gods in the industry. So, if you were to take anything from this video, it'll be to give yourselves a taste of the Holy Grail and not just play as Snake in Smash Ultimate, but also play the original 4 games, or at least Metal Gear Solid 3 and 4. And Okami, let's not forget about Okami, Grown from Material, all that stuff I said at the beginning of the video. Gee, you almost got overshadowed. But then again, who can blame me? I mean, just look at this case though. It's so pretty.